So this is a 55 Chevrolet. Well, of course, we can tell that by the grille. They call this an egg crate grille, which was European sports car inspired. However, there's actually 3 trim levels to this car. You could get a 150, you could get a 210, or you could get a Bel Air. This would be the Bel Air package, and we know that because if we look on the back side of this car, it is a 4-door. It does say Bel Air all the way down there on the side. And while my cameraman's on that side of the car, Brandon, if you could stay over there for a second, we can kind of take a peek on the inside of this car. So the Bel Air actually got all the fixings with it. It got all the goodies, the better chrome on the outside or the stainless steel. And if it was a 150, it would just have black rubber mats in here. They never put V8 emblems on the hoods in 55, but they did have actual V's on the back quarter panel here below the taillights. Now this one's not here, and if we look on that side over there, it doesn't have the holes in here for the V, so we know that this car was a 6-cylinder originally from the factory. So the name of this junkyard is called Dave's Auto Salvage, and I'll leave a link in the description down below if you want to get in contact with Dave about any of the stuff that you see in this video. So this is an Impala. I'm not sure what year it is. Looks like maybe a 68 or a 69. The reason that we know that it's an Impala is because, of course, it has the 3 taillights in the back. If it was a Biscayne, it would only have 2 taillights in the back. Now, this is a 68 Chevelle, and the way that we know that it's a 68 Chevelle is because it has the side vents windows in it here, or the wing windows that kind of flip out like this. 68 and 69 are very, very similar, but 68 is the only year that has these. And this car actually says it was a 307, which would have been a V8 from the factory, but if we kind of take a peek in here under the hood, we can see that it does just have a 6-banger under there, so we know that that's not original to the car. But this is actually a Cutlass. Not sure what year this is. We go to the tag here on the front. We can see that it's a 68 Cutlass, and then it says 3687. So the first digit would be 3 for Oldsmobile, of course, and then the body style would be 3687, which means that this is actually a Cutlass S. And if we come in here to the actual glove box of the car here, we can see that it does say Cutlass S. Now these are pretty cool cars. The Cutlass S would be the middle variety. So it's a 442 up top, it's a Cutlass Supreme, a Cutlass S, a Cutlass, and then it's a F85. This is a Monte Carlo. Now this is a 70 Monte Carlo, and these were actually basically the same thing as a Chevelle. However, they were about 4 inches longer in the front. And what's cool about the 70s and the 71s, ooh, well, this emblem's not a 70 or a 71, but it would have had 1970 or 71 written out in Roman numerals on the Knight's hood on the front of these cars. 72 does not. Okay, so it's a 58. It says Biscayne, but you can see 58 is the only year that the headlights look like that. It's pretty recognizable on all GM products, not just Chevrolet. If this was an Impala, it would be worth a couple bucks. Now, if it was an Impala convertible, it would actually be worth restoring because those cars bring pretty decent money when they're done. So this is actually a 57 210 station wagon, and I'll show you how I know that. If it was a Bel Air, it would have had the extra pieces in here, and it wouldn't have said Chevrolet on the side here. It would have had a little fancier chrome. Also, if you take a look at the steering wheel in there, it does say 210 on there. But the cars over here, I don't think that you would restore this car. And a 57, of course, totally different front end than a 56 and a 55. They have these huge Dagmars on the front, which I think look pretty cool. But this is a 69 Cutlass, And what's cool about this car is this one was made in Canada. So if you come over here, we'll get rid of the honeysuckles here for you. But this tag actually says made in Canada. And the way that I know that this is a Cutlass Supreme is that it says, remember, 3 for Oldsmobile, and then the 4287 would be a Cutlass Supreme. Now, just like a Chevelle, in 68, there would have been a vent window right here, and in 69, like this car, there is no vent window. Now, this is a holiday coupe. It would have been a Cutlass Supreme holiday coupe, and what I mean by holiday coupe, which just stood for hardtop. This car didn't have a pillar or anything right here. It was just the hardtop the whole way back, and all of the Cutlasses in this video are holiday coupes as well. This one is a Bel Air, and the reason we know it's a Bel Air is because it has all of the extra chrome on it, and of course it says Bel Air on the side right here. But I want to show you, more importantly, the inside, and you can see on the passenger side, do you see where it says Bel Air in gold over there? If this was a 150, it wouldn't have had any of this chrome on it, and it actually would also have not had chrome around the windshield, and the rubber gasket would be different because you wouldn't be able to attach the chrome to it. Now, we know that this is not a V8 car. Again, it doesn't have the V's on the back of it. In 55, they didn't have a V on the front if it had a V8. But you can see these are 6-cylinder engine mounts. And if it has that on the back of a 55, then you know it was a real V8 car. This would be a Biscayne. It's not an Impala. It just doesn't have all the accoutrements that an Impala would have on it. And it says it on the side. But this would be, looks like a 70 Monte Carlo. And as I show you here, you can see that this night has the actual Roman numerals in the top of it, and XX on the end would be the 70. It's either a 64 or 65 Chevelle, some sort of Buick that I just, probably a LeSabre, it says it right there. I just don't know anything about those. I've never bought and sold one of those before. This looks like another 55 Chevrolet. Again, it was the Bel Air or the 210. Looks like it was the 210 because it only has the chrome that starts here. Yeah, and see, what I was talking about earlier is, you see the carpet? Actually, it doesn't have carpet. This is a rubber mat. But do you see how this rubber mat is the same color of the actual back seat? That was only available on the 210. And again, this one has, look at this, it has door, it has armrests on the side of the door here. Those wouldn't have been there if it was a 150. But the VIN number for a 55 Chevrolet is right here in the A-pillar. I was told that 55 Chevrolet 150s don't have a horn ring. This is a 210 and it doesn't have a horn ring, so I'm not sure if that's 100% correct. Actually, looks like it might have had a horn ring now that I put the pieces back together. So this is a Cutlass, but this is a 68 Cutlass. This one was made in the United States. We can see the tag is completely different. It doesn't say made in Canada at the top, but we can see that it says 68. And then it has the 4287, which would again have been a Cutlass Supreme Holiday Coupe. And we can see that it was a Cutlass Supreme because it still has the badge here on the back that says CS. Okay. So if this was a 442, it would actually have different cutouts, kind of like the Mustang GT in a couple videos back that we've did. It would have different exhaust cutouts in the back of it, as well as it would have a different motor, and the complete suspension setup to the car would be totally different than this Cutlass Supreme. Also, all of the cars that were Cutlasses that were 4-speed were actually cut with torches in the actual floorboard. This one's not. You can see it was an automatic car, and same with this car as well. Even though that half the hump's gone, it doesn't have the 4-speed cutout. Yeah, this is a 57 again, and if it was a Bel Air, Of course, it would have had the sides that looked like this on side of 57. That's the same for like your Nomads. Of course, they would have been like that also, or if it was a convertible too. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys here at Dave's. They do a lot of auto recycling. You can see the bales of wire here behind me. And of course, this is an LS block. Now, this one, you can see it came out of an '04 Silverado 5.3. But if you're interested and you live in the St. Thomas, Pennsylvania area, give Dave's a call. Check them out. They deal in a lot of parts just like this.